Hello, everyone. My name is Eleonora.
My name is Karen.
And my name is Thais.
And we will present our seminar on teacher ethics. But before, I will explain very briefly why we have chosen this theme. We decided to address these topics concerning the theme of teacher ethics because there is a lack of discussion about it, not only in the university, but also in school. Teacher ethics is a subject that has gained more notoriety in recent years, and which we consider very relevant, especially due to the fact that we are teachers in training. Therefore, it is essential that we know how to be ethical in the educational environment. The contents that we are going to cover in our presentation are: conceptualize the reason of ethics existence, the importance of ethics in concept in teacher's job, synthesis, final considerations, and discussion about teacher ethics.
Now I will talk about the reason of ethics existence. And in order to better understand this, I read a text called Codes of Professional Conduct and Ethics Education for Future Teachers by Bruce Maxwell. Pode passar. And the author brings these other three authors saying and they say that codes of ethics exist for at least two interrelated reasons: to reinforce public trust in the profession and guide professional conduct. So a code of professional conduct will act as a kind of pact between a group of professionals and those who rely on their services. And Maxwell says that to provide the trustworthiness of a profession, the conduct of professionals must be more or less consistent with the code. Pode mudar. And the guiding norms, this author says that the profession itself must establish the ethical norms that govern their work and form the basis of the relationship of trust with society. So Maxwell mentions that the positive and constructive roles that a code of professional conduct is meant to play in professional life are clear: to inspire public confidence, to guide professional conduct, introduce new members to the ethical norms of the profession, and operate as a standard to assess the legitimacy of allegations of professional misconduct. He also brings an author called Banks, and he says that the educational value of a code of ethics lies in initiating students into the vocabulary that professionals in a particular field use to discuss and debate ethical issues that arise in the workplace. Pode mudar. So for teachers or any other professional group, it's important to have familiarity with the collective ethical norms and the ability to apply them in practice, because this will enhance the quality of their work, as Maxwell said. So to new teachers, they need to be informed about those ethical standards, and one place where this can and should occur, it's in the initial university-based professional formation. Pode mudar. And providing students with a basic understanding of the collective norms of their future profession, it's only a minimum criterion of adequate ethics education, not the only one that should be pursued, as Maxwell said. However, codes of ethics are little known or simply ignored.
Now I will talk about the importance of the ethics concept in teacher's job. So according to the article Educating Teachers, the Ethical Dimension of Teacher Professionalism in Tanzania, For many years, there have not been courses on teacher ethics in the curriculum of teacher education and training, and the place of teacher ethics is not well defined in such courses. There were people that identified incompetence of college teachers in teaching as a challenge for teaching ethics in colleges. Since colleges and universities did not have specific courses in professional ethics, one did not have school and college teachers with the required competence. So it was difficult for college teachers to teach aspects of the course that they didn't learn while they were in university or in college. First, colleges of teacher education and training or faculties of education in universities did not have a course in teacher ethics. As a result, they could hardly draw a clear distinction between the subject matter of the discipline and other courses. Secondly, since the curriculum did not have provision for such a distinctive course, teachers in colleges or universities use different lessons to introduce student teachers to aspects of professional ethics. During fieldwork, there were people who identified moral problems in society as a serious challenge to promoting teacher ethics in colleges of teacher education and training, or even to practicing teachers. There was evidence that the society had immoral practices in different institutions. Also, research findings disclosed that parental irresponsibility in the upbringing of children was another challenge in promoting teacher ethics. There were parents who didn't play the expected role in orienting their respective children to proper types of conduct.
Okay, so I'll talk about the text I have read, which is Ethical Knowledge in Teaching, a Moral Imperative of Professionalism by Elizabeth Campbell. The profession of a teacher is unique among the other professions, and it is not only about the moral expectations that society has upon us. In addition to the nature of schooling, the author says that students are our clients, and they are somehow vulnerable, and the classroom is an unusual environment where teachers assist these clients. They are treated as collective and not independently. So teaching's educational mission is inherently moral. There's this excerpt brought from the text which says, ethical knowledge highlights moral virtues such as justice, truthfulness, and compassion as they are reinforced, or from a negative perspective, compromise through the nuances of daily practice, regardless of how mundane they may seem. And it's common sense that the words ethical and professional are synonyms. Before the dominant attitude that teachers assume, they should not criticize their colleagues. This innate obedience of collegial loyalty, enforcing solidarity, creates anxiety-filled ethical dilemmas for teachers who get in standby mode, in which they witness negative conduct by their peers uncomfortably. There are some teachers who have developed their ethical knowledge and it may articulate clearly and precisely with a sense of self-awareness of what teachers do in moral terms. Some teachers are less proficient in moral and intentions in their practices, but it doesn't mean that they are bad people. They only have a lack of ethical knowledge that they need to connect with their daily lives of teaching with more implications that are embedded in this practice.
As for our synthesis, to sum up all that was discussed previously, we want to highlight some aspects. There are places that under codes of conduct in teaching, but at the same time, there is a lack of approach in these ethical aspects during undergraduate courses. Meanwhile, how professors ought to teach ethics for teachers' information if they haven't learned it before? It is not fair to drop all the responsibility of being ethical over teachers, since society itself is immoral. Parental irresponsibility upon children raising disturbs in promoting teacher ethics, since these children do not have any kind of behavioral orientation for good conduct in the classroom.
The final considerations, we can say that in some countries, they have codes of ethics for teachers to reinforce public trust in the profession and guide professional conduct. However, in Brazil, there is no code of ethics for teachers, just as many professions have. Despite it, in some teacher education curricula, there was a lack of teaching ethical conduct in the professional field. So it's important that teaching education courses in higher education owns in its curricula the professional ethics subject. Through our own experience having this discipline in our course, we may affirm that it has fostered our knowledge to critically reflect if something we do is appropriate or not. Also, people must have in mind that our actions through the work environment or social media may interfere in our image and career. If a teacher is seen as a model, it is important to inspire students to do and act good, since we are part of a society.
Now let's move on to the last part of our presentation, which is watching this video first before we enter a discussion.
As third-year teacher at Littletown Middle School, Terry Sanders brings an infectious energy to her classroom. Both faculty and students like Terry and find it easy to get caught up in her enthusiasm. And like many young professionals her age, Terry is active in social media.
A lot of us here are new teachers. I think Terry's in her third year or so. And most of us are still in our 20s, so we all follow each other on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And it was never a problem until about a week ago.
Change up.
Salad.
Yeah.
Her tweet said, "Just saw a cop in the school parking lot with the dog. Hope they don't go near my car. Hashtag just saying hi."
Scott became more concerned about Terry when one of her posts over the weekend seemed to cross the line.
It was Monday morning, and I had some time before my first class started. And so I'm looking up what people did over the weekend, and I find this photo of Terry on Instagram. It looked like she was at some kind of party. She has teachers and students who follow her. You know, I have no idea who's seen this by now or what, if anything, I should do about it.
Okay, so having the video in mind, let's reflect. Is this posture ethical in the school environment? Since teachers are often considered role models, what would you do if you were in this situation? Have you ever been judged by your posture and actions? So think about it and let us know. We want to say thank you for your time, for listening to us. Thank you so much. Here are our references and the references of our images. Bye-bye.